Good morning, boys. On a Monday, how we feeling?
We're awesome, man. Let's go.
Dreary Monday.
Shay, come on. Dreary's a state of mind, kid. It's clearing up already. It's lightened up. The rain stopped. Come on. The glass is half full, kid. Don't sweat small things that you can't control.
Is there a mirror in front of you while you say that? Or here's Shay Norlick.
I'm the one guy that doesn't sweat small things. You know that. Yeah, that's a fact. You go through a health crisis, you learn real quick. The small stuff don't freaking matter.
And that's one to grow on.
But did we or did we not do 5 consecutive days of Kaplan missing his luggage?
Well, it was a radio bit, you goof.
It wasn't on the air when you were cursing out that poor customer service agent.
Well, I had my wife's anniversary present in there, but it wasn't like the end of the world for me. Come on, you're better than that. Let's go. Get to work. It's your job. Let's go.
Damn.
Oh. All right. Well, Matt Eberflus has talked about Caleb's playtime in the preseason being related to the health of the offensive line, which is currently a MASH unit. 3 of 5 starters out at practice yesterday, including Darnell Wright, who did not practice, Tevin Jenkins, who left practice with an injury. Nate Davis had a ramp-up day practice, not in full. He was on the exercise bike working some stuff out for a little while. If the Bears don't have a healthy offensive line, shot or no shot, Caleb Williams should not play against Buffalo.
That's a shot. I cannot put him out there if James Carville is the guy trying to protect his backside. I mean, what did she say? It's not James. What is his name? Jerome Carvin. Like, there are guys I have never heard of that were in the lineup yesterday. If they can't protect the franchise quarterback, then you don't play him in a preseason game. I hope they can get these guys back out there because he needs to work, Caleb.
You mean the Cajun guy that worked in the Clinton administration? He's on the offensive line.
That's Carville.
Oh.
This is Carvin.
Oh.
Carvin. Jerome Carvin. I don't know who the guy is. I've never heard of the guy, but he was starting on the offensive line at practice yesterday. If that's the case, 3 guys are down, then I'm not putting Caleb behind them. But let's make that determination as the week goes on. We're there tomorrow and Wednesday, you and I.
You know, Shay, I'll answer the question in this way. So say, for instance, the offensive line is not intact for the entire time of the preseason. Does that mean that Caleb never gets a snap in preseason? I mean, ultimately, you're going to go through trials and tribulations in which you will not have a fully healthy offensive line. If you are missing 2 parts or 3 parts of the offensive line, that mean that Caleb doesn't get any snaps? He's got to be able to perform in some way when there's issues with the team. A wide receiver could be down. A tight end could be down. And this is where the rubber meets the road when it comes to decisions like this. At some point, Caleb Williams has to play. We look forward to seeing him playing against Buffalo. Again, if it's not now, then when? He's always going to go through some issues where he doesn't have his team fully intact. So when will that be? Will it be Tennessee? Is that the right time?
So you would put him out against Buffalo if you're missing. I get your point. Yeah. At some point, he's going to have to deal with adversity. But adversity is not the preseason in week 2 of the preseason. If I have 3 starters that are missing, let's see. We'll hear Eberflus speak tomorrow. Let's see what he says.
I think that's the way I would answer it. I would ask, because you know how this works, Kap. I mean, you're trying to rev up and get healthy for Tennessee for the first game of the season. These games don't mean anything as much as you just getting reps and getting football shape.
Correct.
And football rhythm.
That's correct.
So I think that's the question I would have. It's a no shot that he should play against Buffalo if he's missing players. But again, what if this happens at home in the 3rd game or against Kansas City in the 4th game? So, and here's the thing. We've been there before, Shay, when you have a rookie or you have a guy that's supposed to be your quarterback and you go, no, he doesn't play. We don't want to get him hurt. And then he looks flat as a pancake in that first game of the season. You don't want that. So I think we have to look at this.
Yeah, I just think it depends on how much you think you can work on the things he needs to work on in practice and in the joint practices with other teams. And if you feel like he needs a certain number of snaps in actual game action in the preseason, like a lot of people in our Twitch and YouTube chat saying this feels like playing scared. I think resting him against Buffalo is more playing smart because the game doesn't mean anything and you don't have the bodies to protect him. The last thing you need in a meaningless preseason game is somebody flying off the edge trying to get a job on Buffalo's defense and knocking Caleb Williams out. Then you're in trouble.
See, the Aikman thought was for him to be able to get the calls, hear how the calls work, the cadence works, and then from the hand the ball off, just so you can feel comfortable in the offense. I think that some of us that watch these games believe that the offense is supposed to light it on fire, even in preseason. That's not necessarily what it's about. It's about just trying to understand the rhythm. Keep in mind, Caleb Williams is the typical college football quarterback that we've seen, Shay, in which he wasn't calling plays in the huddle, looked over at the placards, or just kind of just went, as the ebb and flow of the offense went. So I think that part of it's important for him to have a voice in the offense. You don't want to have that in your first game and 40 blue, timeout. What's wrong? You didn't give the right cadence. They couldn't hear you. It's Soldier Field. You got to be louder. Like, you want to get those kinks out if you can in the preseason. Agreed.
More macro with the Bears offensive line health and 3 of the 5 starters already being this banged up. And it's not even preseason game 2 yet. Short of Caleb Williams himself getting hurt, the Bears offensive line being this injured already is basically the worst case scenario at Bears camp. Shot or no shot?
Worst case scenario, yeah. I mean, you don't want, and you like to have health, right?
Yeah. And now, I mean, a catastrophic injury becomes your worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all these other different things. Yes, it's not a good situation, especially when you're trying to build something. It's not like Tom Brady's back there. I've seen this already. I will be good. No. Yeah, it's not good.
So no, it's not good now. My hope is it gets better at the end of the preseason. And see, Shay, this is why I balk at the conversation about numbers and what Caleb Williams and the offense can do, because again, you have to understand what football is. No matter how dynamic you believe that Caleb Williams and this offense can be, there's going to be issues like we're talking about right now. The offensive line. First of all, is it productive? Secondly, is it healthy? Then from there, it's a rookie working with another rookie in Adunze. He's got Allen. He has got DJ Moore as a couple of veterans that he can work with. But it's about Williams understanding the offense, getting the ball down the field, the whole thing with the offensive coordinator. All of it has to work. And it doesn't work sonically. It takes time. And hopefully it'll be quicker than normal. It worked for Houston. I don't know if it works for the Bears. We have to find out. I have no idea. But keep in mind, there's always going to be issues, Cap, like what we're talking about now, that Caleb Williams has to overcome. Whether it's Waldron, whether it's Eberflus, whether it's the offensive line, whatever.
Right. You just want those to be in season, not preseason. Shay.
All right, Jaylon Johnson over the weekend reacted to not being named to the NFL's player-voted top 100.
There ain't no way. I don't know how you make Pro Bowl, All-Pro, and you're not a top 100 guy. I mean, I could have been 101, I guess, but Aaron Rodgers didn't even play in the season. He was voted. So, I mean, hey, everybody made mistakes. It ain't just the media that do it. The players, clearly, if they voted for this, they made some mistakes. But it is what it is. I mean, end of the day, I know the truth, and it's okay. I got some more for him.
Stuff like that, though, like drive you, maybe not drive you, but does it just kind of feed?
100%. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Yeah, no, it's disrespectful because I know I go out there and line up, and I know receivers go out there and can't say that I'm not one of the best people, like best player they played against. So I mean, just whatever it is, it happened. I mean, it doesn't doing it that wouldn't have just like moved me to where I feel like I'm complacent or anything, but just to see it, I mean, ain't no way 100 guys better. Ain't no way, and especially guys who didn't play, who were hurt, played half. Ain't no. I'm sorry, excuse my language. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I was a bit confused that Jaylon was left off, especially when you look at some of the other corners that made the bottom end of this list. Guys like Reek Woolen in Seattle, who were terrible last year, got onto the top 100, but Jaylon Johnson doesn't. I wonder if the impact is because he played on a bad team. So my question, shot or no shot, if Jaylon Johnson had played for a different team, he would have made the list.
Like a winning team, right, Shay?
Yeah, if he played for the Seahawks, let's say.
That's a shot. A winning team, because he can't just be any. I mean, the Bears are the dregs, one of the dregs of the league.
Have he played for Miami, he probably makes it. He plays for the Chiefs, he makes it. He plays for the Rams, he makes it. But he does not make it because the Bears have been so bad. But that guy's legit every right to be pissed.
But you see how this works, though. You would think the NFL can get through that clutter, Cap. You would think, okay, yes, they lost 13, 14 games in a row, whatever it was for the Bears, that you could still look at the talent and say, well, I know they're bad, but that guy's good. The NFL players couldn't even get through that clutter. Bears are bad. Bears suck. So, yeah, he's part of that. Well, no, he actually is a really good player.
Right.
But see, you can blame the Bears for that. Don't blame Jaylon. Blame the Bears.
But if he has a really, really good season and the team goes to the playoffs, he'll be a lock to be high in that top 100, upper 50.
You know, it's interesting, Cap. Every player has some kind of motivation, right? Everyone has motivation, family, friends, disrespect. They all have something. Some players feel disrespected because their Madden rating. Oh, there's no way my Madden rating's got to be this. You know what? I'm going to work harder so my Madden rating will be better.
Right.
Same thing here with this list. This arbitrary list. Jury of your peers doesn't think you're a top 100 player. If that motivates Jaylon Johnson to be the best corner in the league, go do it.
Have at it.
Whatever it
He's
takes.
a hell of a football player.
Everyone has their own different motivation. His motivation is that he was not named top 100. Okay.
Have at it.
Yeah. Shay.
Now, speaking of the top 100 list, number 1, the best player in the NFL by the players' vote was Tyreek Hill. Now, Tyreek Hill's awesome. I've long said on this show and elsewhere that he is a surefire Hall of Famer, an all-time great wide receiver. I've called him the best receiver in the league. I do kind of believe that. I think Justin Jefferson's given him a run, but it's 1A and 1B. He's got over 10,000 yards for his career before age 30, 76 touchdowns, 3 first-team All-Pros. He's a stud. Led the league in receiving and receiving touchdowns last year, but shot or no shot, Tyreek Hill is the best player in the NFL.
That's a no shot for me.
Yeah, that's a no shot for me either. Now, if Aaron Donald was still in the league, I think he gets the nod, but he retired. But yeah, Tyreek's an amazing football player. Would I have him number 1? No shot.
No, it starts with Patrick Mahomes for me. Since we're so quarterback-centric in the NFL, I remember a time, Cap, as NFL fans that we were into like defensive players and wide receivers and corners. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe your conversations were different growing up. Didn't we talk about the stars no matter the position in the NFL?
We did.
Everything's quarterback-centric. The TV's over our shoulder is about the quarterback. Don't worry about the coach. Don't worry about the front office. Is your quarterback good enough? Because that's the central focus. So because of that, Patrick Mahomes, even to Shea, the greatest quarterback that he's ever seen, play the position. Now think about that. So because it's about the quarterback, why wouldn't it be Patrick Mahomes? Because everyone is chasing that ghost. That's what they're doing now. All the other quarterbacks want to get to that acclaim. They want to be able to have a coach like Andy Reid and have weapons that Patrick Mahomes has utilized. So why is it not Patrick Mahomes?
I don't know why, but again, this is a jury of his peers. This is not a popularity contest. This isn't a fan contest. I'm curious how the top 10 shook out. McCaffrey has to be in there.
Yep.
I know Tyreek Hill is in there, but who else is in there? I got to pull up the entire
Max
list.
Crosby, Travis Kelce, which I think is a joke. That does feel like a popularity contest deal.
Travis Kelce?
So 10-1 is Max Crosby 10, Travis Kelce 9, TJ Watt, Trent Williams, Chris Jones, Myles Garrett, Patrick Mahomes at 4, McCaffrey 3, Lamar Jackson 2.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
And Tyreek Hill 1.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I would have Mahomes at 1. Chris Jones would be in the top. What number was he?
6.
Yeah, he'd be higher than that for me. And Trent Williams would be higher than that for me.
Sounds like a top 10 list of players you want to kick it with. That's what it sounds like to me.
Right. I hang out with Lamar.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Lamar ahead of Mahomes is just ridiculous. Like, how many times do we have to do this?
Correct.
I get that he won MVP. Spags made him look like a joke in the playoff game. AFC title game. Lamar can't move the ball, and it's not all his fault. He had receivers dropping passes. But if this guy can't figure out how to evade a blitz, then he's not the second best player in the NFL.
Now, here, Shay, you and I and Kap and the audience knows that. They know that. But for the players, it's almost like they're pushing Lamar Jackson and willing Lamar Jackson to a championship. They respect that guy so much because he puts his body on the line, all that. But I think that a lot of players think, man, to solidify Lamar Jackson, championship. Will it ever happen? I don't know. He's got all the individual achievements, but what about the ring?
Right.
I think that's how players look. They respect him that much. That's what all the things you said, Shay, are all true. Not even just opinion. It's true because it happened. But I think the player is like, man, if Lamar can get one, even though I may not be his teammate, still. He's got respect in the league.
Yeah. Chris Jones for me is high, as I said. Trent Williams is higher for me. Max Crosby is higher for me. But Patrick Mahomes is 1.
No doubt.
Travis Kelce in the top 10. He's not even the best tight end in football anymore. It's just enough.
He's pretty freaking good.
I'm not saying he's not, but last year was a career worst since his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
Saved a lot of energy for the playoffs. I don't think he was going 100% in the regular season because I don't think he can at his age and still be ready to go in the postseason. Top 10? That's popularity. That's this guy's dating Taylor Swift, and he's walking Morgan Wallen out at Arrowhead. Let's vote him into the top 10.
Yeah, his legs have been tailored. Coming up is Around the NFL. Don't forget Jesse Rogers with Cubs and Sox and everything else MLB at 8:35. Kap and J Hood on ESPN 1000.